This place is no game. It wants you dead. Listen to me if you want to come back, outside of the body bag. First, you're going to explore these jungles that house 1,000 years of secrets. Terrain that has eluded even the most skilled. It's waiting to pounce on you faster than rising gasoline prices.
All right, Far Cry 3, we're in the sunny climes of London, really, unfortunately, so it's pissing down outside. But we're inside, we're here with Jamie. Jamie, you're going to talk to us about Far Cry 3. We've had some hands-on with it. Tell us, give us a sort of running order of what we're actually seeing today.
Well, this is the start of the game, so this is when you get dropped in as Jason Brody into the island and into the kingdom of Vaas, basically. I mean, you start off and you are this guy, Jason Brody, who's this, it's kind of like this young West Coast American guy. He's off traveling with his mates around somewhere in sort of Polynesia, something like that. And he's doing what, guys that age do. He's off, he's having fun, they're having a laugh, and then they kind of drop into this place, and it's really a wrong turn, and it's a world of hurt that they end up in.
Okay, now we've talked about Far Cry 3 over the course of years you guys have been developing. You've been very quiet and secretive about what we will see in the game. We've got a little view of that today with the crafting system, the equipment, and the pig hunting. Always the pig hunting. Can you sort of go into the details about that and how that's incorporated into the gameplay?
Sure. Well, I mean, it's the open world section of the game is now what we're sort of like talking a lot more about, and I think this is the first time that we're showing the entirety of the game. We've shown the kind of the more of the narrative moments. We've shown more about the characters. We've shown kind of the open world systems working together individually, and now this is the first time you've got the whole game kind of all joined up together, working as a complete thing. And it's important now that people kind of understand the kind of the relationship and the dynamic between the missions and then the world itself. The way the kind of the game's designed is to try and get you in a way that you kind of bounce back and forth between the two, that you kind of drop in, you do some of the narrative, and then we kind of open it up and we let you get off and go out and explore the world. And it's really up to you to decide how you want to play the game. It's very important for us as a design team that the game is all about choice, and it's all about freedom, and it's all about player expression. So it's about you deciding how you want to go and engage with the game. Do I want to go and do a mission next? Do I want to go and do a quest, do an outpost, a radio tower? How do I want to play it when I get there? Am I playing stealthily? Am I just going in there and letting rip with machine guns? Am I hunting pigs? Am I hunting them with bows? Am I hunting them with ATVs? Am I hunting them with gliders? It's really up to you to decide how you want to play the game.
And mentioning the radio towers there, that's allowing players who want to scale those towers to get a better overview of what's in the surrounding area. But the nice duality of that, I suppose, is if players just want to go and explore and be surprised, they don't have to do that at all either.
We try not to force players as much as possible. We try to let players really decide the course of the action. So I mean, if you want to, you can play through the entire game without doing any of the open world structures. You can just follow through the missions, you can just go off and you can just hunt animals, and you can just shoot pirates if you want. It's really up to you to decide how the action unfolds.
Skill trees. Now, we've seen that lovely visual side of things where the tattoos on your arm will represent what sort of skills you're doing, but we're getting a deeper look at the 3 skill trees that are on display today. Can you talk us through maybe each in turn and how you gradually work your way through each one? Because you see it's not a clear linear path between each one.
Yeah, I mean it's very much again, it's this idea of choice. I'm feeling a little bit like a broken record now.
Choice. We're going to have a little thing come up on screen here. How many times you say the word choice? Try and go the rest of the interview without saying it again. Let's see if you can.
No.
Choice?
No, it's very much about you deciding where you want to spend your points, where you want to, the decisions you want to make about how the gameplay unfolds in front of you. It's the skill tree is based around you following the path of the warrior. You get kind of taken under the wing of the Rakyat people, who are the people that kind of are native to the island, and kind of you start following their ways to kind of become the ultimate warrior, basically. The skill tree split into 3: the shark, the heron, and the spider. And those are the kind of the totemic animals for the Rakyat people. But it's also as well about the style of gameplay that you want to get involved in. So for example, the shark is all about kind of like power, and so in there the kind of skills that you're unlocking are about things like player health, about becoming more robust yourself, about kind of really direct attacks. So some of the takedowns that you're going to get, they're going to be much more about kind of taking out some of the heavier enemies or being really kind of bombastic with them. Then you have other trees, so like for example the spider, that's way more about stealth. That's way more about kind of like okay, if you want to move around and make it more easy for you to be, less easy for you to be detected, that's the kind of tree you're going to want to specialize in. And then the takedowns around that are based much more about subtle subtlety and about kind of like hiding your path. So, you know, it's about pulling guys away, sort of hiding their bodies, that kind of stuff. And then we've got the Heron, which is kind of like the long range aspect. That's about you kind of like, you know, getting better with bows, for example, better with sniper rifles. And then with regard to the takedowns and stuff, that's going to be the more aerial takedowns, so all the death from above and that kind of stuff. So they're all kind of themed roughly around the kind of animal that you're based on, and hopefully that kind of gives you a bit of a feel for what you're going to be getting involved with the skills.
Because what I noticed from the first couple of engagements we had there over the first hour of the game, it's incredibly tough. You're not getting through this easy. It's not a run and gun shooter. You're really having to think about what you're doing. And I'm wondering, with weapons particularly, I see you can do weapon upgrades and stuff like that, but you have to earn these.
No, definitely, and you get new weapons by taking out unscrambling the radio towers, and that gives you access to new weapons. But again, it's about you deciding, you know, what weapon fits you best. So for some people, it's going to be very quickly find the machine gun, get all the ammo possible, and I'm good to go. Other people, it's going to be much more about, you know, okay, so I want to be a little bit more precise. You know, maybe stick a silencer on a sniper rifle, maybe stick on an SMG. You know, again, it's. I'm not going to say the C word, but it is about, you know, the decisions that you make. See, now I'm saying just replace choice with decisions. It's terrible.
I'll let you away with it. Don't worry, I was only joking earlier on. I do the same thing myself.
No, but it is just about the way that you want to engage with the world and the choices that you make about the weapons that you pick and the weapons that you use.
Vaas. Now, we saw the intro of the game. We've seen him in the various preview events and demonstrations thus far, but this is a really uncomfortable start to the game. How do you guys sort of balance that element of this beautiful, fantastic isle and something it's not even classic Sinister, it's just very realistic and very disturbing?
Why aren't you laughing now like you did up there? What, is this not fun anymore? Have I failed to entertain you? You see, the thing is, up there, you thought you had a chance. Way up in the fucking skies, you thought you had your finger on the pussy trigger. But hermano, down here. Down here.
The Vaas, I mean, we really want this feeling of, you know, like when you're on the tube or something like that and you see like a tube nutter and you kind of think, oh God, please don't come and talk to me or something like that. We want that kind of sensation. Only the problem is that you're completely under his control. You know, you start off the game and you're in a cage and he's that guy that you don't want to come and speak to you. Only he's like that guy times a million, you know, and he's right in your face. And that's the thing we want. We want you to feel this kind of really personal connection. You know, Vaas isn't some guy who's off in some ivory tower like a James Bond villain, like stroking a cat or something like that. He's like right in your face, and we want you to feel that kind of proximity. We want you to feel that connectedness with you, between you and him, that he's coming for you, and he's like, you know, he kills your brother pretty early on and that sort of thing, and that kind of you know, really personal feel to what's going on. That's a very important point for us, that this is something that's happening very immediately to Jason and to you as a player as well.
And how do you sell that story, the fact of it's a tourist coming onto an island and getting wrapped in all this sort of tribal stuff and mysticism and everything like that? How, as a story arc, do you keep that perhaps from treading a bit towards cliche and something that's very true to the Far Cry franchise and something that's very unique for gamers out there?
It's something that we kind of play with a little bit, and I think that's the thing. And what we want to do as well is we really want to mirror the gameplay that you're going through with as a player with the story that Jason Brody is experiencing. So you land on this island, you get captured, your friends get captured as well. Jason's the one that kind of reacts in the way that I think we all think we'd like to think that we'd react in that kind of a situation. I think personally, if I found myself in here, I'd be gibbering wreck in the corner. But there we go. Jason discovers that actually he can get himself out of this, and he really kind of takes power and takes control back. Gets good at killing, kills a lot of people, discovers he's quite good at killing people and liking it a little bit maybe, and what's that doing to him? Then every now and again we kind of give you back one of the characters from the story, like, you know, you run into like Daisy or Lisa or one of those guys, and they kind of hold up a mirror to you and they're kind of like looking at you and they're like, oh my God, what are all these tattoos on your arm? What are you doing? You're going around and you're killing people.
How am I supposed to handle this? You're doing fine!
They're shooting at us! What are you doing? You're shooting at them, Jason!
And the thing is as well is that then that kind of makes you think a little bit about what you have been doing. And as a player, you've been doing that thing. You've been out, you've been gaining all these tattoos, you've been out taking outposts, you've been out kind of exploring, you've been having a good time, you've been killing a lot of people, you probably just completely nailed an outpost and you're like, yes, nailed it. And then the game turns around to you and says, you're enjoying this, aren't you? And just ask that little question about you. And that's something that's going to keep coming back thematically through the course of the game.
Because we're always very blasé about shooting people, things, pigs,
Pigs, for example. Seem to have something against pigs in the game. But no, I think it's something that, you know, without being too sort of like heavy-handed about it, I think we do want people to just sort of just have a little bit of a think about it and what it is that they're doing. I mean, you know, there is a very high body count in the game, and it's hopefully not gratuitous, but we want people to be just having a little bit of a think about it. If you want to. If not, if you do like just going around and killing pigs and all sorts, then go crazy. It's there for you as well.
Okay, and wrapping up then, what have you guys got left to do? Where are you at the moment? I mean, the game's out very soon.
Yeah, we're out very soon indeed, and right now everybody's back in the studio in Montreal, really putting the final touches to things. This build is a few weeks old, so it's really come on since then quite a lot. I mean, you know, 2 or 3 weeks at a time like this it's an absolute lifetime. So there's really a lot of polish work that's been going on, a lot of optimizations and things like that. But we're coming out on November the 29th on Xbox 360, PS3, and PC.
I better leave you to get back to finishing it. Thank you very much indeed for taking the time to talk to us.
Cheers, Gillen. Thanks very much, mate.
You want to survive? Then you have to fight harder. Run faster. Hunt and kill. You will have to break all the rules. Because out here, you're gonna see what you're really made of.